start again. It's a rich thing.
Hi guys, I'm Anvita, Dixit. I'm going to be taking you through a day in my life at King's College London. I've had such a wonderful experience the whole of last year studying in this beautiful university, and I just thought that I should take you around and show you what my experience has been like. So let's go. Alright, so we're at Bush House, which is a very special building for me. This is literally the first place that I came to when I was in London. So I landed on 12th September 2018, dropped my bags, had a chill day, and then the next day I came to this building to collect my identity card and really become a part of this college. So it has a very, very special place in my heart. And I still remember the first time I was walking along the alley and coming towards this, and I just saw this gigantic building called Bush House, and I was so mesmerized. I was like, is this really where I'm going to study? So I'm just really excited to be doing this sort of rewind and looking at all the memories that I've made in this building, because it is just so special. And if you're thinking of studying in London, or if you just want to know what studying at university in London is like, then I think this video is really going to help you, and you're going to learn a lot from it. Also, like, genuinely, for me, when I was applying in 2017, I wasn't 100% sure if I would be here, but now that I am, it genuinely feels like a dream come true. So I'm excited to show you around. Let's go for that. So I'm literally standing in front of the famous London telephone booth. It's really not that, like, there's nothing else that you can do with it except just like pose and take pictures, but it looks really iconic and it is quite a symbol of London. So this is the London telephone booth. And then we also have like really typical London buses. So this is it. So we're walking along Bush House. Basically, King's has about 3 buildings, I would say, in this area. So this is obviously the main one, and what we're going to now is called the King's Building. Also has the Strand building inside it, and the King's Building is where most of our classes were. So we're gonna go around this and take you towards that now. So this is the King's Building where most of our lectures used to be held, and as you can see behind me, we have some really famous people who have studied at King's. So while I was studying at King's, I did a degree called Cultural and Creative Industries. Now most people, when you say that, are like, what does that even mean? So Cultural and Creative Industries are basically an extension of, you can say, media and communication. There's a lot of different elements within it, and what I focused on was media production and cultural policy. So it was really exciting. I love studying it. It took me on a very different sort of trajectory, because the way we study in India is based on exams and a lot of textbooks, whereas here we had to like do our own study, do our own research, completely take things on and explore them for ourselves. So I really enjoyed studying here because it was so different from studying back home in India. So yeah, this is the King's Building, and now we're going to try and go inside. I have a packed day of classes today, because Monday is like my day of classes and lectures and seminars as well. So I'm just going to be literally flying through class, and you can fly with me while we're at it. And I will tell you a little bit about each class as and when I can. So I'm excited for you to come along, and let's hit this Monday. Alright, so I'm ready to go to class now. It's kind of cold here obviously, so I've got my boots on and I've got my winter clothing on. You kind of have to prep yourself for the winter months, especially if you're living in London. And if you're from India or any of the tropical countries more down south, it's cold. It's really cold, and you kind of need to prep yourself. What I've also noticed is it's kind of and that's my view, by the way. I'm blessed. It's beautiful, and but it's also raining a little, so I'm kind of not sure how much I'm gonna be able to film on the way, just because I don't want my phone getting wet. But yeah, I'm excited for you to see how we're gonna go. This is the door that we're gonna dash out of now. I'm walking to my research approaches seminar. And I'm gonna take you in. Hopefully, if I can try to do that, I will. But yeah. And that's Ruhi. She is one of my closest friends in this course. She's cute. and and we're on the way to the lecture now. So this is our core module. The lecture that we just had was our optional module, and we just delivered a presentation. So I delivered the presentation with Yasmin. And it was about fantastic beasts and the misappropriation of culture in that segment. So it was fantastic, and now we're heading to class. Okay, so hey, this is my best friend, and we're on the way to our next class. We just finished with a very heavy core module seminar and lecture. Oops, the light. So we're just moving to that class now. We're gonna fly because we have back-to-back class till 5 p.m. So we'll see you guys later. But thank you for being with us on this journey. Hey Yasmin, where are we going now?
Waterloo campus.
Just walking across the Waterloo Bridge to get to our next lecture. And this is Yasmin again. And you must see the montage of the way the river looks. And we're just really happy to be walking across, although it is really cold. But we had a fantastic class before this called Entrepreneurship in the Arts and Culture. And now we're sort of heading towards a guest lecture on the same topic. So, see you then. Let me just say that it's not that easy to vlog in public, because every time you're vlogging, it's like, hey, I'm talking to the camera, and everybody around you is like, what is she doing? Like, is she okay? And so it's a whole process really to actually even learn how to do it, because you have to just get over being self-conscious and be like, I'm gonna talk anyway, it's fine. But it's hard. Like, it's not easy to just start blabbering in front of a camera while everybody else is like,
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
Alright, so this is Somerset House, which is right next to King's College. It's sort of like an art gallery or also different art installations, and this also has been such a monumental part of my year, because we always just hop over to Somerset House if we had to do any projects, or if we just wanted a good background in general, or just needed somewhere to hang out. So Somerset House, as you saw in the shots before, is really, really beautiful. And I just thought I should now take the opportunity to tell you a little bit about King's and what it has to offer. So genuinely, when I applied to King's, one of the things that really motivated me was just how many different options they have on board. Like, even within one course, there's so many different modules, and I think that gives you the ability to pick and choose from different things. I know sometimes when we're studying in India, we get a little limited to the subject that we're in, but in King's and in London, I was able to see so many different subjects within one course that it really broadened my horizons and made me think differently. So that's definitely one. And at the same time, I think just being in London and living on your own and experiencing the city for what it is just changes you as a person, and you grow so much because of it. So definitely, like, in terms of gaining experience and growing as a human, I would say King's is definitely one place you want to come to, or even just any university in London. I've had a fantastic experience, and it feels so nostalgic to be saying bye to all of these places. So I knew that I had just 1 year in London and I really wanted to make the most of it. So even before I came here, I already started deciding which internships I want to take on, what yoga classes I want to teach, and how I'm going to be spending a lot of my time in London. So my whole aim was that I know this year is not going to come back and I want to explore and try as many different things as I can. Now, one of the things that I genuinely wanted to try was being part of a dance crew and also doing a lot of photography, being part of different shoots. So that's definitely something that I invested in heavily while I was here. And I think what you need to do when you're in London is there's just so much happening around you. So you need to, even before you come, have something in mind, have some sort of game plan to be like, these are the 5 or 6 things that I'm going to focus on heavily, and then actually do them. Because the first month or the first 2 or 3 months, it can get so overwhelming because it's a different city, you're meeting so many new people, and you might lose track of what your actual goal is. But just to remember why you came here, what it is that you want to experience, and how you can make that happen is so important. I think I kept coming back to my why, and that's what really helped me try so many different things in London. And I felt like I really made the most of my time here. So now when I go back, I only have like a large treasure of memories. I don't have any regrets to look back on. So that's something you want to keep in mind. That when you're leaving in the last week and you're looking back, you don't want to think that you didn't make the most of the city. So that's just definitely something you want to keep in mind when you're in a city as big and as expansive as London.